Hey, it's Shane with GotRom.com. This video is about my 5 favorite exercises for hip external rotation. Now, if you search online and search for, how to improve pigeon pose or hip external rotation, you'll come across countless articles and videos and posts that basically tell you that it's the glutes. If you can't get in pigeon pose, your glutes are tight. If you don't have hip external rotation, stretch your glutes. And as someone who's struggled with really bad hip issues and some of the conventional wisdom didn't work so well for me, I'm here to say that it's not always that simple. So I want to explain 5 more exercises other than just working on the glutes that are helpful for improving hip external rotation. So what you can do is get in this position, hips go up, turn to the side, and put a ball underneath the glutes. Find some trigger points and just breathe and relax. If you find a dense knot, you can contract into it for a couple seconds, hold your breath, and then relax, and then kind of hunt around a little bit more. One good trick that I like in this position is I can't be fully relaxed right now. If I was fully relaxed, this would fall to the ground, but then the glutes aren't in kind of a optimal length tension relationship. So what I like to do is to get a foam roller or a prop or a pillow and just rest my knee on it. And that seems to be the sweet spot for most of the people that I work with. So you're here, and then you kind of roll around on your glutes and find the dense, ugly spots. If you have the hip stick tool, you can also get a little more pinpoint on the glutes. So you go hips up, turn to the side, into the lateral hip rotators. Same prop with the knee. And I'll show you what that looks like so you can see it. So into the lateral kind of butt area on the side of the hip. And then prop your knee up on something. And then this is not so much a move around. This is a pin it down and then stop, become dead weight, and then it sinks in. This feels much different than a foam roller or a lacrosse ball, and I think it gets in there a bit deeper. So you would work on your glutes for 5-10 minutes, and then move on to the next exercise. If you've ever done a stretch like this in yoga and found yourself just not getting that external rotation as much as you need, actually the IT band, kind of the interface of the IT band and the quads and the interface of the IT band and the hamstrings, they all get kind of stuck together. So what I like to do is either foam roll the IT bands, and really, you're not going to affect the IT band itself, but you can affect that interface between the quads and the IT band and the hamstrings and the IT band. So this is pretty intense for most people. If this is too intense, you can put a foot here and take some of the pressure off if that's too intense. However, if you've been following my work for some time, then this might be not intense enough for you, in which case I'd highly recommend you kind of go to the quad baller tool. It's got a nice contour to it, better texture than the foam roller in my opinion. So put it on that kind of IT band interface, and don't just kind of like mindlessly roll up and down. Get a little bit mindful about it, get a little intentional about it. So go really super slow, feeling every inch of the movement. Whenever you come across a really dense spot, stop, become dead weight, and then keep moving. You can also tuck your hand underneath here and kind of roll until your feet come off the ground. Now there's a lot of leverage, a lot of pressure. And me, being the masochist that I am, I like to kind of scrub side to side on this high IT band. That's one good thing. You can pedal your feet, it's another good thing, or just the super slow motion steamroll. Now, I don't like to just stick with one tool. I think you also can use a ball on the IT band to kind of get into the crevices a little bit more. So, same thing, you're on here, now you can kind of pin down one side of the IT band or the other, and then just kind of pretend like you're trying to like almost peel the IT band away from the hamstring or peel it away from the quad. So that's why this tool can kind of get things that even the quad baller or the foam roller can't. So work with various tools on this IT band and then retest your kind of thread the needle glute stretch. And already, and I didn't even do that much work, I feel like this is rotating a lot easier for me. So experiment for yourself and compare with both sides, the side that you work on and the side that you didn't. One thing that people don't think about very much is the attachment points of the hamstrings. So you can take a lacrosse ball or a softball, and get a box or a chair and sit on it like so, and put this on the attachment point of the hamstrings, so way up near the ischial tuberosity, and then kind of pull your hips into the ball. Now if you have a chair which is too squishy and the ball sinks down into it, you might want to put a book on top of the chair and then the ball on top of the book, a hard book, and that way it won't sink into the chair too much. So this allows you to get kind of the medial hamstrings way up at the attachments, and that can actually affect the hip rotation in a surprising way that most people don't realize. So you can work on that for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Most people in a yoga class or whatever would just kind of throw their leg up there and just kind of drop into pigeon pose. I think that you can wind this hip up into even more external rotation. How you would do that is get your shin kind of across your mat, block the knee on the far side with this back knee, and then twist your thigh out, stick your butt back. Now I'm extremely exaggerating the external rotation of this hip, and then I keep all the pressure going down through this knee. I'm going to hold my foot with this hand, and I'm going to slowly pressure down through the knee, leg goes straight, and then I go back into pigeon pose. This feels like a much deeper kind of wind up of the hip into external rotation. Now if you are way too tight to even get into this position, you could always put a pillow underneath this knee to elevate it slightly, but still go through that same sequence of kind of blocking the ankle with your knee, twisting out, butt back, hand on your foot, pressure down through your knee, then slide back. And I think you'll find that whatever you do from there, if you go pigeon pose this way, this way, this way, however you do pigeon pose, it will be deeper because of how you set it up. So the last piece of it that people are missing is when they go into a glute stretch, they just kind of passively relax or just kind of breathe and don't really move. If you can learn how to activate different muscles in this position, your external rotation will improve. So what do I mean? You can be in this position, and now I don't have to have my legs so far behind me, I can let it come up to the front, and you can press my foot up into my hand. We call these 90-90 contractions or 90-90 exercises in the FAI Fix program. So you're going to pull your foot up into your own hand and then release, and you can alternate that with sinking into the stretch. So you're kind of going back and forth between activating muscles and then relaxing into the stretch. Another thing you can do is pull your heel this way towards your groin against your own resistance. Pull, 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 activating the hamstrings. You can kick, 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 foot in this direction, and then relax. Go deeper into your stretches. You can pull up into your hand. So there's not any wrong way to do it. You just want to learn how to turn on various hip muscles, which helps to center the joint in the socket, which will help you get deeper into the pose. So I like to kind of do that amidst my stretching. I'm here, and I'll activate my foot into my own hand, or I'll pull up into my own hand, and then sink into the stretches. So learn how to turn on, activate, wake up your muscles in pigeon pose. Try those other exercises at the attachment point of your muscles, and go beyond just stretching your glutes to improve hip external rotation. So give all that a shot and enjoy.
Yeah.